Welcome back to The Whirling Mind. I'm your host, Cal, and I'm so glad you've carved out a little time to be here tonight. We're going to explore something that feels both ancient and surprisingly current: light and fire, the everyday glow that surrounds us, and the quieter ways it can help settle a whirling mind. Before we begin, just a gentle note: this show is meant to be supportive and reflective, but it doesn't substitute for medical or professional advice. Please treat what you hear as ideas and perspectives to explore, not directions you must follow. If you are ever in doubt, or if you're struggling, especially around your health or mental health, please reach out to a qualified professional who can look at your unique situation and guide you personally. And whenever we talk about candles or flames tonight, just assume good common sense, only where it's appropriate. Never leave them unattended, and always make sure they are fully out before you walk away. With that gentle frame in place, let's step into the glow together. If you strip human life down to its essentials, there are only a few things every civilization throughout history had to deal with: darkness, danger, and time. And for most of that history, the way people handled all three was exactly the same: was light and fire. Ancient rituals built around candles, lamp, hearth, and the rising sun weren't just spiritual decoration. They were early, surprisingly wise tools for calming the nervous system and keeping the body in sync with the rhythm of the day and night, in a world that had no electricity, no digital clocks, no screens. Modern science is now finding what many ancient cultures already knew through lived experience. Light shapes our stress, our sleep, our mood, and the biological timing that runs quietly underneath everything we do. This episode connects three ideas: the calming effect of a candle flame, light as a spiritual anchor across civilizations, and the way light sets the body's internal clock. The central tension is that artificial blue heavy light at night disrupts that older, deeper relationship with light and darkness, affecting sleep, mood, and mental balance. And the good news is that simple daily light rituals can help restore that rhythm. Let's start with the candle flame effect. Sitting by a campfire or watching a candle in a dark room, most of us know that feeling. Something in us settles. We breathe a little slower. We feel somehow more okay. Researchers have looked into this, and the effects are real. In yoga, there's a practice called trakata, or steady gazing, where attention is fixed on a small point, usually a candle flame, placed at eye level in a dim room. Classical yoga texts describe trakata as a cleansing and concentration practice. It was used to steady attention, reduce mental restlessness, and prepare the mind for meditation. One of the key modern researchers in this area is Christopher Lynn, an anthropologist at the University of Alabama. Lynn and his colleagues studied what actually happens in the body when people watch a hearth or campfire, using conditions like fire with sound, fire without sound, and plane control images. What they found was striking. Watching fire with sound lowered blood pressure, and the longer people watched, the stronger the calming effect became. Lin describes this as a fireside relaxation response. For early humans, fire likely meant warmth, safety, and being with others, so people who could relax around a fire may have had real social advantages. That response got woven into us somewhere deep. Research on meditation points to the same direction. Calm, focused attention tends to quiet mental agitation and bring more settled patterns of brain activity. A recent candle gazing study found that brain activity became more ordered during the practice, which researchers read as a sign of stress, relief, and stable focus. In plain terms, softly watching a flickering flame may help settle the mind into a calmer, steadier place. And Lynn's research gives us a modern window into something people have been doing by instinct for thousands of years. Speaking of thousands of years, let's speak of light as a spiritual anchor. Across so many different cultures and across so many centuries, the same instinct keeps showing up. Mark the changing of the light, dawn, dusk, lamplight, firelight. And there's a reason to that. There are moments when light is shifting most dramatically, and changing light has a powerful effect on human attention, emotion, and our internal sense of time. In many Hindu homes, a small clay lamp called a diya is lit at sunrise or at dusk, during what is known as Sandhya, the meeting point of day and night. Ancient Hindu texts use light and fire as symbols of the inner self, of divine presence, and of the removal of ignorance. The flame isn't just decorative, it's an orientation. In Buddhist traditions, lamp offerings symbolize wisdom illuminating darkness. The ritual often involves standing before a small, steady light with intention and quiet reverence. Light becomes both a symbol and a very practical anchor for calming attention. In Islam, the five daily prayers are tied to the movement of the sun, including Maghrib, just after the sunset, and Isha, as night has truly fallen. Those prayers' time keep the body and mind connected to the sky's changing light, especially at the tender ages of dawn and dusk. In ancient Egypt, the sun was not just worshipped, it was treated as a source of order, renewal, and life itself. Priests performed sunrise, midday, and evening rites timed to the visible position of the sun. The Egyptologist James Henry Breasted, the first American to earn a PhD in Egyptology and later one of the leading voices in the field, wrote about how solar hymns and rituals centered the sun as a guarantor of cosmic order and the daily return of light. His 1912 book, Development of Religion and Thought in Ancient Egypt, based on lectures he delivered at Union Theological Seminary in New York, traces that solar devotion through the great hymns of the ancient world. And among many indigenous communities in North America, sacred fire remains a living spiritual anchor, tied to prayer, healing, gathering, and connection to land and ancestors. Recent qualitative research in Ontario found that sacred fire gatherings supported emotional release, a sense of belonging, and deep resilience in people who came together around them. Across all these traditions, light isn't just something seen, it's something that orients us to time, to each other, to something larger than ourselves. Let's talk about the science of the body's clock. Deep inside the brain, there is a small cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the body's master clock. It's quietly organizing almost everything: the timing of sleep, wakefulness, body temperature, hormones, digestion, immune activity, and it takes its cues almost entirely from light. Morning light is especially powerful. It tells the body clearly the day has begun. A hormone called cortisol, which is linked to alertness and readiness, naturally rises after waking, and morning bright light can strengthen and normalize that pattern. Then at night, darkness falls, melatonin begins to rise, gently preparing the body for sleep. The trouble is that blue rich light in the evening, especially from phones, tablets, televisions, and many modern LED bulbs, can suppress melatonin and delay sleep. Research also suggests that while blue enriched light in the daytime can help with alertness and mood, too much of it at night is linked to poorer sleep and more depressive symptoms. A leading voice in this field is Russell Foster, professor of circadian neuroscience at the University of Oxford. Foster has spent decades showing how deeply human health depends on getting light at the right time of day. In his book, Circadian Rhythm, a very short introduction, he explained that humans evolve with biological timing systems that expect bright days and dark nights, and that when we ignore those systems, the cost shows up across a wide range of health issues. It's not about being perfect, it's really about remembering what our bodies were built for. Now let's talk about trees and light. This relationship with light isn't only ours. Trees depend on it too, using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to make the sugars that fuel their growth while releasing the oxygen we breathe. The forests around us are powered by the same sun that ancient humans honored in ritual. Without enough light, trees lose their vigor, growth suffers. Researcher Ling Meng, an assistant professor at Vanderbilt University, has been studying how artificial light at night affects tree life cycles and seasonal timing. Her NASA funded research found that city lights can significantly shift when trees leaf out in spring and when their leaves change color and fall, sometimes with effects comparable to climate change itself. This means our relationship with light isn't just a personal matter of sleep or anxiety, it's part of much larger ecological rhythm, one that connects human and plant life, seasons and cycles in ways we are only beginning to fully understand. Let's jump into the central tension. For most of human history, life followed a beautifully simple light pattern: bright daylight by day and firelight or darkness by night. Our bodies and minds evolve under that pattern over thousands of generations. Modern life has quietly reversed it. Most of us now spend the day in relatively dim indoor spaces and then expose our eyes to blue, heavy light late in the night from phone, tablets, televisions, and LED bulbs. Studies show that evening blue rich light delays the natural rise of melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep and leaves us less alert the next morning. Broader research links mistimed light exposure with mood disorders, metabolic problems, and impaired immune function. And the timing really is everything. The same blue rich light in the morning can actually help. It sharpens alertness and supports mood. It's the evening exposure that tends to work against us. Simple changes can help restore a healthier rhythm. The goal isn't perfection, it's just a stronger contrast between bright days and dimmer nights. Let's talk about practical light rituals. These aren't rules. Think of them as gentle invitations, things to try and shape to fit your own life. Morning light, when you can, step outside in the first hour or so of waking, even for 10 to 30 minutes, even on a cloudy day. Outdoor light is far stronger than anything indoors, and it's the clearest signal your body's clock can receive. If your season or schedule makes that difficult, a bright light device can help fill that role. Daytime life and movement. Try to get some natural daylight during the day and pair it with walking or movement when you can. This helps maintain alertness and reinforces the body's sense of time. Evening dimming. 2 or 3 hours before bed, let the light soften. Dim the overheads, switch to a warmer lamp or an amber bulb, turning down screen brightness and using warm tone display settings can also help reduce the effect on your melatonin. People find amber blue blocking lenses helpful in the evenings too. A candle ritual. After sunset, try sitting quietly with a candle or small oil lamp placed safely at eye level. Gaze softly at the flame for 5 to 10 minutes, not trying to do anything, just being there with it. Traditional texts have praised this practice for centuries, for focus, for calm, for a quality of stillness that's hard to describe but easy to feel. And modern studies, including Christopher Lynn's fireside research, suggest it genuinely supports relaxation and stress relief. If you have significant eye conditions, it's worth checking with a clinician before spending extended time with candle gazing. Humans evolved around sunrise, daylight, firelight, and darkness. Ancient cultures built rituals around that reality, using light to mark time, calm the mind, and connect with meaning. Modern life often pulls us away from that, but the basic repair is simple. Seek natural light in the morning, get daylight during the day, dim the lights at night, and create a brief evening pause with warm light or fire. What earlier cultures practiced through devotion and tradition, we can now also understand through modern evidence. But maybe the most important thing is just this: light is not neutral, it shapes us, and we get to be a little more intentional about it. If this episode has resonated with you, please share with someone who may benefit from this learning. I have created this channel to help people around the world understand the benefits of ancient practices and tying them to modern science to improve their lives, which is a hobby of mine. I spend much time reading, researching, and record those episodes so I can make some change in your life. This may be a one person show, but I sincerely bring you those findings from a place of kindness. I hope to post every Sunday evening. Please subscribe and like the video for support. You will find resources for this episode in the caption. Thank you again for being here with me tonight. This was The Whirling Mind. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next Sunday for another episode.